This is a video demonstrating the Maestro RR gauge settings and gauge functionality as installed on a Subaru BRZ Limited 2017 and using an AVH1440NEX from Pioneer. To get to the gauges, you just hit AV sources and then car features. It takes you straight to this page. You've got your options over here for gauges and vehicle information. There's two different ways to adjust the settings for the gauges. You can either use this key here, and with that you can select different gauges. So select your center gauge. Your options for your center gauge are throttle plate position and timing advance in this car, in this setup. Top left gauge, you've got the options of vehicle speed and 0 to 60. Top right, you've got these options. And then bottom left, and bottom right. So these Obd sensors that you can pick from, they're set for each gauge, and you can't really move the gauges around or change the number of gauges. You're stuck. You've got 5 gauges. For P2, you can do the same thing. Select gauges. Center gauge options are the same, basically. Yeah, same for each one. There you go. So you've got, you can basically effectively put almost all your readings out there that you could want. Another way to, another feature of this is on these gauges, if you don't like the color, if you tap it once, you can change it and select between a white background and a gray background. If you touch and hold on a gauge, it'll switch to the gauge settings for that gauge. You can set maximum and minimum values for each of the small gauges. I didn't see that for the large gauge. Yeah, you can't really set that for the center gauge. Not sure why that is. Then back in settings, you can choose between English and metric units. For fuel economy, you can select your fuel type. You can select your tank capacity. And you can reset your fuel economy settings if you want to. This button, validate PIDs, you click that button and I have no idea what it does. It seems at the moment to do nothing. If you know what this is supposed to do, or if I've got it set up wrong, please let me know, because the gauges all work. The gauges that I have all seem to work fine, but whenever I click that button, it does absolutely nothing. And then Obd2 Communication, you can select auto disable, always enabled, disabled, or enabled on demand. I'm not sure what those do aside from the obvious, and I've just left it on auto disable for now. I may try some different settings later on when I get a little bit braver. Then for vehicle information, you've got your battery voltage, which seems a little low, and your tire pressures are supposed to show up here. They're not showing up on mine. And then you can also set door alert and check engine alerts to on or off. and this one is grayed out, so it doesn't count for anything. These two are also grayed out. You can't really see that on this screen. Anyway, so that is that's the gauge function for the Maestro RR as seen in a Subaru BRZ 2017 with an AVH 1440NEX from Pioneer installed.